All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Sorry it took a little while because I have to prep my dinner. Tonight we're having tri-tip, so that's always yummy. Anyway, welcome to another edition of DylanLasagna Live. We're on episode number 13. And it's been a busy day, to be honest. Not only just a busy day, but there's a lot of news, a lot of topics to talk about. I'm gonna turn down my TV, but not only there's a lot of news, but football is officially back. The NFL is officially back. It's technically preseason because it's like the Pro Football Hall of Fame game tonight, and I have it on my TV here. It's between the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons, I believe. But I mean, it's preseason. I mean, it's something. I mean, football is sort of back. It'll be officially back in September. But anyway, for our show, in our regards, football is back. Football, or not football. We have another show of DylanLasagna Live. Like I said in my community post, there's a lot to cover because there was just a lot of news that happened throughout this week, and my God, I needed it so much because I really want to talk about it. This is like the most like topics that I have on this show like right now. So we're gonna see who's in the chat right now. Nobody's in the chat. I was the only one that said it, but that's fine. That's fine too. Oh, hey, Boswell, how you doing? Glad to see you on the stream. And with that being said, we're gonna talk about a lot of things. But first, before we get into the topics, we're gonna do a little bit of another amiibo unboxing. And last week was Bayonetta. You don't remember how I mentioned how I wanted Zero Suit Samus last week, but I didn't have the money for it. Well, I decided to burn my money this week, was it this week or no? I decided to burn my money on Sunday to get Zero Suit Samus. So I decided to get Zero Suit Samus, but we finally got her. So I'm not sure which one to unbox. I'm probably gonna take a crack at maybe this one. But yeah, I think we're gonna take a crack at this one because this one has the most box damage, and I don't know. Let me know in the comments, or in the chat, which one should I unbox because of the damage. But if not, we'll decide on it like in between the stream. But anyway, in regards to topics, we're gonna start, today's topics are gonna be WWE having their corporate stooge, aka what I like to call a white knight problem, the Crash Team Racing microtransaction problem, a little bit my personal highlights for Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live this week. Next week, by the way, will be our SummerSlam show, so that's gonna be oh, thank you, Boswell. Yeah, I'm still uncertain which one I want to unbox, but that after I laid out the topics, then we're gonna unbox the amiibo. But anyway, next week's show is gonna be all WWE SummerSlam, which will be held inside the Toronto Raptors arena, Scotiabank Arena. By the way, side note about Scotiabank Arena, SummerSlam in Toronto, there's gonna be at least, I'm gonna say it now, there's gonna be at least one WWE fan, whether they like basketball or not. There's going to be at least one fan that's going to wear a Kawhi Leonard LA Clippers jersey. I guarantee that's going to happen. Whether they're on TV or they can't be seen on camera. It's just going to be lights out, man. But anyway, moving on, staying on topic, we're going to also be talking about the new Garfield Kart that was also announced. Yeah, Garfield Kart, people. Then we're also going to talk about a little bit about WWE 2K20 finally being mentioned. We're finally going to learn details about it this Monday. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And we're also going to talk about a new statement, more on why I say statement in air quotes, from EA on the lack of Nintendo Switch support. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live. Not because of the highlights, we are going to get into my personal highlights, because you know the new Chase Center, if you live in the Bay Area, they have this new Chase Center in San Francisco, which is the new home for the Golden State Warriors, you know, my Golden State Warriors. they're hosting Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live back to back, which, and by the way, is the new which is the last SmackDown before they moved to Fox. Fun fact for you, by the way. And you, when I'm like, the ticket prices for that show, for both shows, are pretty ridiculous. But we're gonna get into that later in the show. But for right now, I'm gonna decide which amiibo to unbox. Well, I think I'm gonna go with this one. This one is gonna go on the shelf with Bayonetta and the Inkling girls, because there's like 2 of them. So this one is staying on the shelf with Bayonetta and the Inkling girl. So we're gonna start this stream off with Zero Suit Samus. That's right, Zero Suit Samus. I don't play Metroid, but I often use Zero Suit Samus in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So this is her in the box. Pretty cool design. I don't know how she is out of the box. The only thing I don't like so far, when I unbox it, it's this little plastic thing right here. It's like pretty noticeable. I don't know why, like, they couldn't like find a way to make it. Yeah, I am aware of that too, Boswell. Yes, I am aware of that. Thank you so much. But that was not the reason, like, that was not the reason why I got this amiibo. 2 of them. But you caught me there. You caught me there. But anyway, I don't like this little plastic thing on the amiibo because it's like too noticeable. But anyway, here's your back art. You also have Zero Suit Samus. Obviously they nerfed her for reasons in Smash Ultimate, but we're not gonna get into that here. But anyway, it's time to rip my heart open again and tear this thing apart and break my heart, because I hate unboxing amiibo, like, especially since I've been getting into it, because just like ripping it open is just like ripping my heart out. Alright, but anyway, let's get into it. The good thing about it is that I always buy doubles of like the amiibo I do like. I mean, I do have Pearl and Marina, and I do regret I didn't get like doubles of that, because I do like Off the Hook. But it is what it is. I mean, at least I have them, and I just regret that I didn't get a double pack, like a second set of them. So there's the RIP of the box. And let's take out Zero Suit Samus. So goodbye to the box. You'll never see it again. I mean, you'll see the other box, but here is Zero Suit Samus, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero Suit Samus. Yes, there it is. There it is. That's all. That's all. All right. Goodbye. Stream over. No. Look. Anyway, this is the thing I was talking about. I don't like this plastic right here. I don't know why like Nintendo has to do this. I think what they need to do is make the figure bigger, like bigger. I mean, I'm not joking here. They need to make like the amiibo figures bigger, so so the figure can like actually be on this little stand right here, so it reflects like. So it reflects the actual, like, you know, the actual it's like an actual trophy. If it's like this and it's plastic, it's just like, oh, it's plastic. But yeah, there is Zero Suit Samus again. Yeah. Alright, I'm not trying to get all like sexist or anything, but there it is, Zero Suit Samus. She hot as fuck. Yes, I said it. But she's good too in Smash Ultimate too. And like with Bayonetta and the Inkling girl, I'm gonna train her as well, and I'm gonna probably dish out a triple threat between these amiibo figures. So we're gonna put her on the side, and yeah, that was Zero Suit Samus. Yeah, I miss doing the SpongeBob YTPs, but I'm slowly but surely on my way to getting that new PC. I have the CPU and I have the thermal paste. I just need the rest. So I'm already like saving to get the graphics card. I was advised to get that next, but man, building a PC is like very hard. Like very hard because there's like there's so much that you need to there's actually pretty much a lot that you need to consider. Like what kind of graphics card you need to get, like what are you going to be doing with it? Again, I'm going to be doing like everything, like all around. Like I'm going to be gaming, gaming a little bit. Like I'm going to be playing like a couple of PC games, and I'm going to be mostly like streaming's the main thing, and streaming and editing are going to be the main things. Gaming, it's mostly going to be like the old GTA games like San Andreas, Vice City, and GTA 3. That's pretty much it. But yeah. So now let's get into the main meat of this show, shall we? So let's first talk about Monday Night Raw. But first, sorry, I keep sidetracking here because I gotta do promos. Go and check out my new video on Nintendo Switch Online. That's the newest video on the channel. I pretty much talk about my 1 week experience with Nintendo Switch Online during the free trial. Spoiler alert, I am no longer a member of Nintendo Switch Online, and nor do I plan to ever again until Nintendo drastically changes the online service for the better. What I really want from Nintendo Switch Online is the basic online features like messaging, native voice chat, not the stupid smartphone voice chat app that we have now. Like actual voice chat that's in the Nintendo Switch itself. And we need a party chat system like in the PlayStation 4, and instead of like basic online features that pretty much need to be there. But go check out that video. Oh yeah, and by the way, I guess they're doing like free trials for Nintendo Switch Online members. Like I guess they're doing that now. And then go and check out my Splatoon 2 Final Splatfest videos. They're all now one playlist on my channel, so you don't have to like click back and forth. So you can just like binge watch it like in like one sitting. So you can go and check that out now. So yeah, go and check out those videos. Now we can finally talk about Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, my personal highlight reactions. Exactly. You can't message anyone on Switch unless it's through another like outlet. Unless if it's Discord or like anything else. It's stupid. It's really stupid. So that's why I want a messaging system on the Switch itself. And I don't know why Nintendo doesn't want to do it. But anyway, I need to stop sidetracking here because it's holding me up. So Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. I watched both shows in full, and I gotta be honest, it was really bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. I hated most of it. So for the sake of time and interest, I'm just gonna talk about my personal highlights because I thought everything was very cringy. So let's talk about first the 24/7 title, the WWE 24/7 title. I thought that was a shit show. That kicked off Monday Night Raw, and I had no idea why that kicked off Monday Night Raw when it shouldn't have. Because that match lasted like less than 5 minutes, and after the match, like R-Truth won with, it wasn't like the lie detector, like Shelton Benjamin's pay dirt finisher. Like everyone, like after R-Truth like won the match, he obviously his character is like a freaking dumbass and like stayed there. He didn't run off with Carmella because after the match the 24/7 rule went back into effect. He decided to stay there like an idiot and get himself dogpiled on by everyone and lost his 24/7 title to Mike Kanellis of all people. Then what happened afterwards was that Mike Kanellis locked himself into the WWE officials' locker room. Then he let Maria pin him so she could become the first ever pregnant WWE champion in history. So pretty much nobody would pin her, like, because she's pregnant, and nobody would have the balls to do it. But on Twitter today, Drake Maverick was like, I'm gonna pin this bitch because, like, I don't care. I want my 24/7 title back. But it's just so dumb. It's like, I don't know what levels, like, are. Well, let me sidetrack. Let me go backwards a bit. R-Truth was a. I was fine with R-Truth as 24/7 champion because he fit the role. He really fit the role. I know it was a bit repetitive to have R-Truth as 24/7 champion, but he fit the role. It was like his character was like, oh, he's stupid, but it really fit his comedic role. But now that Maria Kanellis is the champ, and it's like, I don't know how long she's gonna be the champ because she's pregnant, and like she's legitimately pregnant. It's like, we don't know how long she's gonna be 24/7 champion. We don't know how she's gonna lose the championship, if she's gonna lose the championship. And I thought it was really stupid, and I really don't know what's gonna happen with the 24/7 title now. I think it's officially buried, and I don't know. Even if R-Truth wins it back, I don't really have much of it. I don't really care for it right now. I don't really care for it. Now let's get into the real highlights. Now that I got that on my system, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar came out during Seth Rollins' match with Dolph Ziggler. I'm not gonna talk about Rollins' match with Ziggler because I just don't care for it. All right, boss. Well, I'll see you in 10. Seth Rollins got attacked by Brock Lesnar during his match with Dolph Ziggler. But he got beat up really, really bad. So pretty much what happened was Brock Lesnar took Seth Rollins to Suplex City, like pretty much everywhere, like in the ring, ringside. Pretty much, yeah, that was like the worst place to go to Suplex City. Then then that's where the beating took a turn for the worse. He took an F5, like Rollins took an F5 ribs first to the LED ring post, and like that had to hurt because unlike the previous ring posts, which were like just metal, these ring posts were LED and they're like freaking like hard as hell. Then Brock Lesnar hit Brock Lesnar hit Brock Lesnar with a steel chair. No, Brock Lesnar hit Seth Rollins with a steel chair, and then Brock Lesnar decided to F5 Seth Rollins on the exposed head of a steel chair 4 straight times, and Seth Rollins threw I guess they're saying it's a blood capsule now, but I don't know. But he decided to cough out blood, and man, it was just crazy. Brock Lesnar looks like a badass, and like it just made Seth Rollins look really sympathetic. And I'll admit it was kind of well done. It was kind of well done. So we thought the assault was done from there, but as he was being stretched out of the arena, Roman Reigns and the Usos were getting attacked by Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Samoa Joe. And Becky Lynch was just standing there like a dumbass. Brock Lesnar stopped the ambulance, dragged Seth Rollins out of there, and hit an F5 on Rollins onto the stretcher, ribs first. So, as much shit as I give Brock Lesnar for and Vince McMahon for letting Lesnar be the world champion when he's a part-timer, he was okay. He was just okay. For this attack, he looked like a real villain. He looked like a villain that just doesn't give a shit about what he does. Very angry, very vicious, and this made this match at SummerSlam pretty interesting. But it was at the same time, it was kind of similar to what Brock Lesnar did to Roman Reigns during their, I don't know, was it their WrestleMania 34 or was it their SummerSlam build? I guess. I don't know. It was just like the Roman Reigns feud with Brock Lesnar from last year. But again, it made me interested. Again, the only thing I thought that was really stupid was Becky Lynch standing there and not at least trying to talk to Brock Lesnar or trying to interfere with and help Seth Rollins. It's like you were in the shot of Seth Rollins being stretchered out to the ambulance and going to the local medical facility because they can't say hospital on WWE TV. So, was Becky Lynch hella scared to take an F5 from Brock Lesnar when she took End of Days from Baron Corbin. Like, what the hell? That was really stupid. WWE booked, like, WWE did dumb dick on that part. I thought it would have been a really good opportunity for if Becky Lynch took an F5 from Brock Lesnar. That would have made Lesnar a ultra heel. Because even though I think Becky Lynch is still repetitive, her man gimmick has significantly cooled off. I mean, she's still popular with fans. But I thought it would have been a really good opportunity for Paul Heyman to book that so it could get Brock Lesnar ultra heat. Like, so fans can really hate him. Because to hate him for F5ing if not the most popular WWE superstar on that, like, right now, in Becky Lynch. I know it also wasn't giving them a very personal feeling to the Rollins-Lesnar feud, but oh well. Another thing that I hope for, like, actually it's two things, is that it gets no disqualification. Like, this match gets like a no disqualification stipulation, because if you do a regular singles match, I don't know, like, what else more you can do with it. And the last thing is that I hope Seth Rollins doesn't show up to, like, any event. They hold him off until SummerSlam. And yes, that means house shows. You have to hold them off from house shows. They already canceled the SmackDown house shows, but obviously Seth Rollins does Raw. But I would recommend WWE not have Seth Rollins be on any of the house shows, or Raw, next week's Raw or SmackDown, if, I don't know, none of the events until SummerSlam, so he can sell his injuries. So who's the starting? Kevin Hogan. Okay, I guess Joe Flacco is not starting until the Broncos' second preseason game, because technically the Pro Football Hall of Fame game is the Broncos' first preseason game. So Joe Flacco is not playing tonight, and I don't understand, like, why do, like, whoever plays the Pro Football Hall of Fame game, the two teams still have to play 4 preseason games after that? I find that unfair. They should play, like, the same amount of games, like 3 games, and then the Hall of Fame game. That's unfair. Anyway, I like how in the main event segment where everyone was brawling, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Drew McIntyre, the Usos, Anderson and Gallows, Cedric Alexander was out there fighting as well. Again, I don't know Alexander that much, but I'm glad he's getting that. I'm glad he's getting a push. So hopefully after this whole thing is done with McIntyre and Roman Reigns, WWE still continues to push him, because I think he has potential. Another highlight for me was the Natalya and Becky Lynch segment. I mean, I know a lot of people still shit on this segment, but I honestly am excited for this match at SummerSlam. Not because I think it'll be a great match, and I obviously think it won't be a great match, but of all the possibilities that could happen. Let me explain why. So during a moment of bliss, it was revealed that Natalya was practicing with various trainers, including Fit Finlay, how to counter the disarmer. So Becky Lynch saw this and attacked Finlay. She gave him a low blow apparently, and put Natalya into disarmer. So, like, that was revealed during a moment of bliss. And so after Becky Lynch's matches, unfortunately, she had matches with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Yes, they're still together for no apparent reason. More on that later. Alexa faked an injury. That's why Becky had a second match with Nikki Cross. Becky won that again. Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross attacked her until Natalya ran them off, but then she put Becky Lynch in the sharpshooter for payback from earlier. So in an interview with Kayla Braxton, I think she was subbing for Charlie, who was doing First Take that day. She is tired of Becky insulting, I don't know, was it Canada or like, I don't know, her? I don't know. Oh god, Matt Schaub is starting. But anyway, in an interview, she was tired of Becky's insults, and she proceeded to challenge Becky Lynch in a submission match at SummerSlam. But she thought Becky was not man enough to accept it. So she rescinded it. So Natalya challenging Becky to a submission match was the only noteworthy thing to come out of this because, again, it makes it interesting. And if Becky Lynch accepts the submission match stipulation, it has the potential, unfortunately, to recreate the Montreal Screwjob if Ronda Rousey returns to screw Becky out of her title. So there's that. Now, let's talk about Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I was fine the night after Extreme Rules that they were still together. But the week after, 2 weeks in after Extreme Rules, I still don't know why I should be interested in why they're together. They're just there. They're just there for the sake of being there as a team, as a TM. But it's like there's no direction or reason or rhyme as to how or why Nikki got fully convinced to be Alexa's full-on friend. So if Nikki finally figured out that, or like, whenever Nikki Cross figures out that Alexa Bliss is just using her, or whenever Alexa turns on her, who's gonna care? Who's really gonna care? Seriously. It's gonna, like, let's say it's September, Clash of Champions, Hell in a Cell, October. Who knows when Nikki Cross is gonna figure out Alexa Bliss has been using her? It'll be too late. It'll honestly be too late. Like, they should have, like, they either should have done the turn the night after Extreme Rules, or like at least put them in a direction, like the night after that. Oh, we want to go for the Moronics for their women's tag team titles. I mean, it is rumored that they're supposed to be in a fatal 4-way match with the Asuka and Kairi Sane and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville at SummerSlam to face the Moronics for the women's tag team titles. So we'll see. We'll see. But even if they do win it, I just won't care. I just really won't care. Then on SmackDown, there's one of the two things I really cared for. Randy Orton's promo on Kofi Kingston. I mean, it was basically a repeat of last week's promo, but this was Randy Orton has been killing it with this feud with Kofi Kingston. So he mentioned in this like promo package about how he had a career of being a third generation wrestler, backed up, and he's backed it up with the Intercontinental title, the World Heavyweight title, WWE title, Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner, and all the other accomplishments. He again brought up how Kofi Kingston wouldn't be WWE champion had Randy Orton not injured Mustafa Ali. So, yeah, that's kind of true, to be honest. That's still true to this day. It's like Kofi Kingston would not be in that match if Randy Orton, like, if WWE didn't script Randy Orton to injure Mustafa Ali. Or did Ali, like, legitimately get injured? I don't know. But anyway, he also mentioned the stupid incident from Raw in January 2010. So basically, Kofi botched, like, his spot to get hit by an RKO from Randy. And Randy was, like, literally upset to the point where he called Kofi stupid. And he was just, like, even after the match, he was just so mad. And Randy called Kofi stupid again in the promo, and at SummerSlam, he'll prove that his entire WWE title reign, even though Kofi has been booked as a winning champion, despite him still having the New Day gimmick, which I think should not be happening. I think it should, like, when he's with the New Day, he can have that gimmick, but when he's WWE champion, he should have like his traditional, like his old gimmick, you know, SOS. I did it, you know, that gimmick, his old gimmick. But nonetheless, Randy Orton's gonna prove at SummerSlam by winning the WWE title. Kofi Kingston's WWE title reign was a fluke. So I thought this was a really good promo. I still want Kofi Kingston to be the champion heading to the Fox premiere, but I know that they're gonna have a really good match. So if Kofi does win, I was thinking about this last night. I think WWE should, like, whether or not they continue the feud post SummerSlam with Orton and Kingston, or I don't know. I think they might. I think it's a one-off, but I think what WWE should do after SummerSlam or after Clash of Champions is put Kofi Kingston in a feud with Ali. Now, Mustafa Ali doesn't necessarily have to turn heel, nor should they make him one, because I think he's fine as a babyface. But they can play off the story of how Kofi Kingston wants to give Ali, like, he calls Ali out and wants to give him wants to make up for taking his spot in the Elimination Chamber, and by giving him a WWE title shot. So I think that would be a good next feud for Kofi, but we'll see. Then after the main event between Kofi and AJ Styles, we had 2 minutes left of airtime, and this was one of the segments that kind of had my head scratching. So Roman Reigns was supposed to announce who he was gonna face at SummerSlam, but then we had again 2 minutes like left on the show to do it, and Roman Reigns still didn't get to do it. So Roman Reigns was supposed to announce his opponent, but then as he approached Kayla Braxton, I think that's her name, suddenly a bunch of like equipment, like heavy equipment, fell right on top of him, and then they're doing like a bunch of shaky camera angles, like trying to look for him, and it was just pretty stupid. So he came out uninjured, so that made the angle even more stupid, and then he just walked away, refusing medical attention, because because he was uninjured, and he was just like confused, baffled on like who done it, who did it. And I think I found an image on NoDQ.com that the camera like screwed up and pointed it at Buddy Murphy, so that made the thing even worse. But if they wanted, like, I don't know, I thought this segment was very unnecessary, and if they wanted to announce Roman Reigns' opponent at SummerSlam, they could have just cut a segment or two. I thought they should have cut the moronic segment, because I don't know, WWE just doesn't care about the moronics or the WWE Women's Brock Lesnar titles. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on. The WWE Women's Brock Lesnar Tag Team titles. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna call it from now on. So those are my highlights from Raw and SmackDown. Now I'm gonna get into a little problem that I have with the WWE at the moment, despite me having many problems with the WWE. But this one's a new one, being added to the list of DylanLasagna. So if you all over a month ago, Seth Rollins made some comments claiming WWE had the best pro wrestling on the planet. You all saw me talking about that in, I think it was the stream where I was talking about stomping grounds, whatever. Well, even though Seth Rollins continues to run his mouth against the criticism WWE gets, others have decided to join the party as well. Yeah, that's right, people. More corporate stooges, more white knights in the WWE have decided to join in on the party. So, grab your pitchforks, grab your white helmets, grab your white shining armor, grab your white horses, and let's get raiding on all the criticism that we're about to hear about the WWE and all the white knights that we're about to see. And our first suspect is none other than AJ Styles. So AJ Styles has joined in on the fun, grabbing his trusty white shield, his white sword, and his white armor, and riding on his white horse, yeah, to say the following on sporting news. So the interviewer asked him the following: when it comes to being a locker room leader, Seth Rollins has really attached himself to that role, considering his experience and tenure with WWE. He recently came out on social media and was calling out some fans for their negativity toward the WWE. What was your reaction to his comments? And like, this is gonna make me laugh so much. And if you're defending the WWE right now for the product that they're putting out, I don't know what to tell you. I totally understand where he's coming from. We are out there doing our best to entertain everyone to the best of our ability. It's not easy to do that, and then you want to be armchair quarterbacks? I don't know what that means. Hindsight sucks. Everyone wants to do that. You can't do that. If they were so good at what they've done, and I know you've heard this before. If these guys who want to criticize wrestling were so good at what they do, they have a job in the wrestling business, but they don't. They rely on what someone else has said and whether or not they agree with that. They pick and choose what they like. You can't do that. Either you enjoy it or you don't. Yeah. The wrestling's not the problem. I'll get to that later. Either you enjoy it or you don't. Regardless, you make a show about it weekly, so something must be going right. Somebody is doing something right. We want to entertain. We want to do our best. So it's aggravating when not only do we do some things, it's aggravating when not only do we know some things don't go the way that we like, that we have to hear it from somebody else. So pretty much what he's saying is, like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. So, but the problem is here, he's like Seth Rollins. He's criticizing the wrestling. He's not criticizing Vince taking control, rewriting, throwing away all the scripts. Paul Heyman, well, not really Paul Heyman, either Paul Heyman or Eric Bischoff, like he did with last Tuesday's SmackDown, throwing away all the scripts and rewriting the show himself. And he's also starting and stopping pushes left and right, giving all these part-timers and old-timers pushes, and it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. That is the problem we're having with WWE. The terrible creative direction, and yet Styles and Rollins are defending it and defending the terrible product while not seeing the actual problem. But it gets better. It gets better. For at least for at least Renee Young. Yeah, Renee Young is our next subject because she decided to, she got called out by fans for her commentary. So here we go. So Renee Young, this is from NoDQ.com, addressed criticism over her commentary work on Raw and was met support by Natalia. A fan said the following: I would love it if WWE would stop putting shitty announcers on their shows. Mauro and Nigel are the only good ones, which is true. And Renee had an emoji, I don't know what this is. I guess it's like kiss, kiss, and the checks keep coming in. And another fan said, "Y'all know I watched WWE. I watched Seth Rollins go from babyface to no one likes you by accidentally talking about money. We get it. You have a high-paying public job. Cool story, sis. Perhaps the WWE should hold a class on how to not sound like an asshole in public." Renee said the following: "Here's the truth. I know I'm not great on commentary, but it's my job. I try to get better each week. People love to tell me how bad I am, People love to tell me how bad I am at it, as if it thinks I'm great at it. So I should just quit. What would they say about me? Not easy to learn a skill on a gigantic global TV show." And Natty said, "I think you're doing fantastic, Renee. You work hard and every week to gain knowledge and experience while learning a new skill front in the entire world. I couldn't be more proud of you. Now, I give Renee some slack here, but she still has that white knight like tenure there. But at least she's admitting. At least she's admitting that she's like not great. She admits like she's not doing well on commentary, but yet every week you don't seem to improve on like all you do is oh. But again, that's the problem on creative too. It's like Michael Cole's leading the job, like with commentary. Yeah, I pretty much talked about Raw already. Now I'm talking about this White Knight problem, Boss Wild. So pretty much what been talking about for the past couple of minutes is how WWE has a corporate stooge problem on their hands. How they're criticizing the wrong problems about WWE. Like they're criticizing the wrestling. Like people like Seth Rollins and AJ Styles are criticizing the wrestling when the creative direction, the start and stop pushes of certain guys are the real problem. But back to Renee Young. She does okay on commentary. It's just that I feel like she's being restricted by either Vince or someone in the higher ups because I don't know, like creative. I don't know. But anyway, I feel like the 3-man booth doesn't really work that well anymore. I feel like it worked well in the new generation, but it doesn't work so well anymore. Like, you know, the new like the 1995 era. But it's like we get Michael Cole's the play-by-play. Corey Graves is the color analyst. But what's Renee supposed to be? Like, what exactly is Renee's role? Is she a play-by-play? Is she a color analyst? It's like, or is she just there? This is the problem that AEW also has. They also have a 3-man booth and they can't get it to work. Like we know we know Excalibur is the color analyst. Like Jim Ross is supposed to be the play-by-play, but then we have Alex Marvez in the middle, like he's the Renee Young of AEW. It's like, what is he supposed to be? It's like it doesn't make sense. So I think the best thing to do is, if I were WWE, I would get Corey Graves off, because like if you really want to promote equality, then I would have Renee Young stay. No, what you really like, I would have Michael Cole get off. Like for a 1-week experiment, have Michael Cole let Renee Young do the play-by-play with Corey Graves on a 2-man booth. But, and then if that doesn't work, have Michael Cole and Renee Young do it with Corey Graves off TV, like Corey Graves off. Because I think Corey Graves is an annoying bitch. It's like every time, like, especially when he like Alexa Bliss comes out and Mandy Rose, I just press the mute button, and it's ridiculous. But I like what Renee said though. She's like, she admits she's at fault, but again, she doesn't really do much to like fix her problems. But at the same time, it's like WWE doesn't like really help her, and I feel like Michael Cole's not really doing the same thing as well. So I feel like she feels restrictive in her role. But yeah. And another like non-white knight was Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch. She's in that same category as Renee Young, because she was critical of how WWE used her relationship with Seth Rollins in the storyline. I remember how WWE tried to integrate Becky and Seth's relationship onto TV, because for storyline purposes. Yeah, I remember that. like I remember that. So she spoke with Talk Sport, like it's a British website, I guess, and like she's or they said the following. Speaking of stories, Lynch was embroiled in a mixed tag team angle with her real-life boyfriend Seth Rollins heading to Extreme Rules. The former Last Kicker said she was apprehensive when creative pitched the idea to her, but ultimately, working with the talent like Rollins won her over. So, I mean, she was a little white knighty, I guess, but I don't know. Becky Lynch said the following. Honestly, I was very apprehensive, so pretty much she was against the idea of using her relationship with Seth on TV, which pretty much everyone was against. So what I didn't want was everybody talking about the relationship. What I wanted was two badasses, two people at the top of their game fighting side by side, which what we all wanted too. Not for the world to be reminded every 5 minutes that this is Becky Lynch's boyfriend. Yep. Or that this is Seth Rollins' girlfriend, which of course they didn't do. They were the masters of subtlety. So for that reason, I was very apprehensive. But when I thought about it, I was like, okay, one, we are going to make this a badass fight. It is going to be a great fight. No matter what, you know, when you put me and Seth Rollins in a fight, you are going to get pure passion and we are going to pull out all the stops. But in terms of having my relationship being the freaking in front center, that is not what it's about. That's not what I work towards. That is not what I wanted. I wanted to work with Seth because he is the best. You know, besides me, but working with him was awesome. He is really the absolute best. And funny enough, they stopped like integrating that into Seth Rollins' storyline with Brock Lesnar, and as well as Becky Lynch's storyline with Natalya. So maybe they learned their lesson. I don't know. Like, and I totally agree with what Becky Lynch said, and thank goodness she stood up for this because remember WWE, like, whenever there's a relationship, whether it's Andrade and Charlotte and Becky or Seth, it's like WWE's had a long history, problematic history with exposing relationships and using it for storyline purposes. Well, except for Andrade and Charlotte, obviously, because Andrade and Selena Vega are like Selena's Vega managers and thing. But we need like people like Becky standing up for WWE's problems. And again, it's not the wrestling that's the major issue. It's the creative direction of almost everybody in that company. It's the storylines, it's the start and stop pushes of all the wrestlers, and the complacency, how same the WWE is as a whole. It's really gray what like in the WWE right now. So are they really gonna be gray? Are they really gonna stay pat if All Out is like the AEW's best show to date? And if, especially the fact if AEW's weekly TV show, whether it's whether it's Wednesday Dynamite or Tuesday Dynamite, if they go to Tuesdays, because remember, NBA Players Only is no more on TNT, so AEW could move their show from Wednesday to Tuesday now. So whether if AEW's weekly TV show does more successful than we all imagined, is WWE really gonna stand pat? So WWE needs to stop butt fucking around and these white knight wrestlers need to shut up, stop bitching, and they need to they need to give constructive criticism about what's actually going on, and not criticize the wrong problems about professional wrestling. When I mean wrong, which is I mean wrestling. And these problems need to be fixed pronto. And speaking of before I end this part of the show, let me talk about relationships a bit, because WWE, again, they had a long history of forcing relationships down our throat, real life relationships down our throats. They've obviously done it with Total Divas and Total Bellas. Speaking of Total Bellas, let's remember the John Cena and Nikki Bella relationship. I still believe that was the worst one of them all. that had to be the worst. Aside from, I think, like Edge and Lita, but I thought Edge and Lita were a good like power couple because they're just really good heels. But I think John Cena and Nikki Bella's relationship was really bad, like really bad how they force fed it because they eventually split up. Especially it fell flat on WWE's face when John Cena proposed to Nikki Bella at WrestleMania 33, and then soon after, John Cena called off the relationship before the wedding. Yeah, WWE needs to stop this. WWE needs to stop putting real life relationships into storylines, people. Now, let's take a break from ranting a little bit and talk about Garfield Kart. Let's talk about the greatest of all kart racers, Garfield Kart. Share this with your friends because Garfield Kart has finally been like unveiled, like a brand new one. It's called Garfield Kart Furious Racing. Just when you thought Mario Kart, Team Sonic Racing, and Crash Team Racing were enough for the kart racing genre, especially for my Nintendo Switch, Garfield Kart gets announced. So it was announced on Tuesday via Nintendo Everything that a brand new Garfield Kart was coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and yes, the Switch. Yep. So, yeah, Garfield Kart. We can all hate Mondays now. We can all hate Mondays, eat lasagna together, and look at John very angry. Very angry. We can play the true greatest racer of all time. And funny enough, it got great reviews on Steam. It pretty much got a 9 out of 10 because like this game is just a meme. I mean, all jokes aside, this game looks really boring because I saw the gameplay of it in my downtime and it does look boring. But we'll see. We'll see. I like the screenshots of it, but I don't know. We'll have to see the gameplay. I mean, will it be worth checking out? We'll see how the reviews are. I don't know. Garfield Kart. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. Like freaking Garfield Kart. Alright, now let's get back to the rambling and the ranting. WWE 2K20. We did a full episode on this, like a full Dylan Lasagna live on WWE 2K20. On how there was absolutely nothing, like no news, no rumors or anything like that from almost anybody. But now, yesterday, WWE 2K20 was given its first 2 screenshots, its first tweet from the WWE 2K team saying, "Join us August 5th for the first bit of news about WWE 2K20, including the cover star and the gameplay and details about gameplay." So, after months of speculation and rumors and people bitching about where's WWE 2K20, where's WWE 2K20, we're finally gonna know something about it this Monday. As you all know, I despised the 2K series, like the WWE 2K series, since 2K17. That was like the last one I played, but then after that, I've even despised 2K17 because it was just so boring. 2K18 was boring, and you already know how I feel with what they did on the Switch. 2K19 looked boring as well, but I still like wrestling games because, duh, I'm a wrestling fan. 2K is finally gonna, like I said, 2K is finally gonna uncover the cover star. We're probably presuming it's gonna be Becky Lynch, but as I said, I want it to be like probably the 4 horsewomen, like Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, all on the cover, like they did with like the old Smackdown versus RAW 2000 covers. And that's all gonna be revealed this Monday. They also teased they also posted a teaser of a trailer earlier today So that's there. I kind of wanted to do a bonus Dylan episode of Dylan Lasagna Live, to talk about 2K19 or 2K20, but I'm probably gonna save like my thoughts about like all the reveal stuff for next week's episode when I talk about SummerSlam, because I'm gonna be like really busy that day. But follow me on Twitter because I'm probably gonna talk about it a lot. What I want to know about this game, like as with all like the 2K games, is not how graphically improved this game will be, because that's all they ever promote, but how outdated, how complacent, and how almost nothing will likely change for this year's game. Like with how almost nothing changed with last year's game. Sure, they added a big head mode, they ramped up the My Career mode, they ramped up they added a Towers mode, but that's it. That's all you did. What about making the roster as updated as possible? It's like the roster was freaking dated as heck. It's like, look at NBA 2K. It's like they make the rosters updated as heck. Like even after like the cutoff date, which was I think from Macho T's video, the cutoff date for those games were like June 2019, I believe. Like yeah, June June, like around that time. And yet NBA 2K games still add people to the roster, like to the game after the game comes out. So why can't WWE do that? It's freaking ridiculous. So in theory, this is gonna be like just another outdated roster update. What else did I want to say about this? Oh yeah, so not only will the superstar roster will be outdated, whoever had like old entrance music like Cesaro or like probably I don't know who else had old, or like the Viking Raiders, they're probably gonna have outdated music or attire, and because again the cutoff was June, so a lot of this stuff is probably gonna be dated. What else is there? So I have 2 questions for 2K20. Heading into Monday, what was the holdup? Like that's the first question. What was the holdup? Why only now are we gonna know details about this game? So if this game plans to come out in October, if this is still gonna come out in October, like whether that's early October or late October, why is the WWE 2K team only saying that they're going to announce details about this now, on Monday? Was there a problem with the graphics engine? Which shouldn't be a problem because they always focus on graphics and very less on the gameplay and the online. Was there like a clash between 2K and Nukes? Do they not know whether or not do they not know what direction to take the game in or what new things to put in the game? Does either side not know how to make a proper wrestling game? Because I don't know what took so long. Like WrestleVote said like they're gonna air some kind of NFL 100 commercial, like NFL style 100 commercial, and it was like even like what was the holdup? Like I think WrestleVote also said they were gonna market this as like the best wrestling game ever, but I don't know. I really don't know. So it's like I think NBA 2K19 NBA 2K20, sorry, just got their trailer. Just got another trailer today, and they started marketing that game since, or like, exactly last month. So why only is WWE doing this now? Like the WWE 2K team only doing this now? And if they're gonna release this in October, I don't think that's a good marketing move. I don't think 2 months, like, if you don't count August, September, October, that's not enough time. You have to release this in November. Tops. I think December is too late. So I think October is October's too early, or like too soon if you're gonna release info this late. So I think you have to push it to November. But it's just disappointing. But my really biggest question for the WWE 2K games, for WWE 2K, is there going to be a Nintendo Switch version? Is there going to be a Nintendo Switch version? Remember, WWE 2K skipped out on 2K19 for the Switch. Like, they skipped out on the Switch for 2K19 after the disaster that was WWE 2K18, thanks to blind as fuck Squirrel. But that wasn't a surprise that they skipped the 2K19. If you watched those videos about how I thought 2K19 was going to be stupid, but if you watch the video specifically about how it wasn't a surprise that there wasn't going to be a WWE 2K19 on the Switch, I said that they were likely going to use that year to figure out how the NBA 2K team managed to get their games onto the Switch, and by now they should have figured that out. The WWE 2K team should have figured this out by now. And again, I think the WWE games have a big potential for the Switch platform. The NBA games are run really well on I don't know. I can't say well. They run really good on the Switch. Again, they had to sacrifice the frames per second from 60 to 30, but nothing was stripped away. Nothing was stripped away. The graphics were on par with the PS4 and Xbox One for NBA 2K19, and no modes were taken away, and it was just on par. So I hope that there's going to be a Switch version for W2K20, but I'm still hoping that the gameplay will be fun. But if not, if none of those things are the case, then I expect that the WWE games will never come to the Switch again. And I don't know. I don't think I'll ever purchase a WWE 2K game again. Now let's move on from WWE 2K20 to our favorite company. Yeah, EA. EA, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk a little bit about EA. So there was a new statement from EA on the lack of Nintendo Switch support. Yeah, so pretty much EA, also known as Electronic Arts, yeah. So Electronic Arts said, hold on, I'm trying to find it. So during EA's, this is from Video Game Chronicles. So during EA's first quarter earnings call on Tuesday, there was an analyst that brought up the Switch. So this is what EA had to say. So this is from, again, Video Game Chronicles. So an analyst said that they thought the Sims franchise might be well suited to Switch, but EA's top executive suggested otherwise. While his response was largely centered on The Sims, Wilson also claimed, I think Andrew Wilson, yeah, I think that was his full name. Andrew Wilson also claimed that a great many, what the hell is that supposed to mean? That is not even proper grammar. A great many Switch owners do not play EA games because, I'll get to my opinion later. That a great many Switch owners do play EA games, only they tend to do so on other game platforms they own. And this is his quote, direct quote, and I quote, "Anytime we are evaluating platform conversations, we are really looking at a couple of things. One, does the game really fit the profile in terms of the control of the community ecosystem? Two, do we really think the community platform playing on that platform would appreciate the game and go there, or would they prefer to play it somewhere else?" So that was from Andrew Wilson. We had a lot of data that would suggest a great many Switch owners also own a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One or a PC, and often very choose to play the games that we make on those platforms, even though they have a Switch and they enjoy a lot of great content on the Switch. While Winston didn't rule out The Sims ever coming onto Nintendo's console, the chances appear slim. I wouldn't say The Sims would never go to the Switch, but I think we're doing really well, attracting Sims players to other platforms. What? What do we learn from this? So, what I learned from this personally is that EA is full of shit. So, despite the Switch having a highly successful launch, despite having 2 successful years, selling nearly 40 million units, EA doesn't give a shit. Like, EA really doesn't give a shit about Nintendo nor the new console. But Dylan, they have FIFA, they have FIFA 18, they have FIFA 19, they have FIFA 20. Yeah, but FIFA 20, let's remember this. FIFA 20 is a legacy edition, ladies and gentlemen. FIFA 20 is a legacy edition. That's pretty much a roster update from FIFA 19, and all the FIFA games were pretty much a watered down version with modes stripped out from the PS4 version, and the graphics look like freaking 8-bit versions of the PS4 version. But in contrast, NBA 2K19 only switched the frames per second from 60 FPS to 30 frames per second, yet retained most of the graphical similarities from the PS4 version, and kept all the modes in the Switch version. And yet, like, Andrew Wilson did point out that yes, people own multiple consoles. Yes, people do own both a Switch and or a PS4, an Xbox One, or a PC. But that doesn't mean people don't want to play EA games on the go. Portability is the biggest factor for the Switch. People don't have time to play games on their ass all day. What if they wanted to take their games on the go, EA games, on the Switch? Why doesn't EA want to do that? Because they can't put in microtransactions? Because they can't put in loot boxes on the damn Nintendo Switch console? Because Nintendo won't allow it? EA's being a dumb dick with this statement. They're missing out on putting Jedi Fallen Order. They're missing out on Madden, especially Madden, because I love I like watching the NFL. They're missing out on the NHL series. They're missing out on a lot of games that have so much potential for portability on the Switch. You know what? I'm done holding out hope for any EA game, even Madden, like, to be on the Switch, because all EA cares about is putting in microtransactions. They want the damn money. So I'm done holding out hope. I'm done holding out hope for EA for putting the game on a Switch. So I would rather have FIFA 20 be the last game on the Switch from EA, because they just don't give a shit. I know people around the world like FIFA on the Switch because you can play soccer on the go, but EA just doesn't give a shit, you know? All they care about is putting microtransactions in games. All they care about is putting loot boxes. But I'll get to serious loot box, serious microtransaction ranting later, because this is ridiculous. I'm done holding out hope for EA on the Switch. So let's talk a little bit about more about wrestling, because I was looking at the ticket sales for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live at the Chase Center, which is the new arena for my Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. So WWE is heading there for 2 back-to-back events, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, which is the last SmackDown before they move to Fox the week after. So there's no more Tuesday SmackDowns like after the Chase Center one. It's gonna be on Fridays on Fox. So if you know me well, if you see a lot of my videos, I love WWE, despite all of its many problems. Like right now, I like going to the shows live. I went to I showcased to you 3 WWE live events that I went to. Payback, SmackDown Live, TLC obviously was the best one I had attended. But I've never been to a Monday Night Raw in my life. Never. So the Chase Center seemed like a good time to go, right? Now, I don't know. I don't know so much now. Because I'll let you in on something. Ticket prices for either Raw or SmackDown are, they're pretty stingy. Now, I don't know if I should give either the Warriors or the Chase Center the benefit of the doubt here, because this is a new arena and these events are being held in the opening next month, which is the inaugural month of the Chase Center. But you gotta hear me out on these prices. Floor seats for either Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live start at $505, and this is in the second section. So there are normally 6 or 7 sections, I believe, for, ringside. There's okay, let me borrow this screen right here. So there's section 1, section 2, section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, section 5, section 6. Yeah, 6 sections. Say this is section 2. This costs $505. Now let's look at section 5. This one's facing the hard camera, where it gives you a better chance to be on TV. It'll likely get you on TV. Those seats start at $700. The highest goes to $775. And this is at the Chase Center. This is outrageous. You know how much the floor seats were for SmackDown Live, Payback, and even TLC? They were freaking $235. The max being $350. Well, obviously it was more if you did the ringsiders package for those events, but for a regular ringside seat, it was $350 max. That's ridiculous. That is so high for a ringside seat. But I don't get it. And even when you're in those lower level, the bowl level, it's $180. That's a little double than what I paid for at SmackDown Live, which was $95, but it's still ridiculous. So if this is a sign thing to come for not just WWE events at the Chase Center, but for Warriors games at the Chase Center, where ticket prices are significantly double than what they were at Oracle, I don't know what else to tell you all. I really don't know what else to tell you all, people. Will it really be worth the ferry ride or the free Muni trips to Chase Center to go watch a WWE event or a Warriors game when the ticket prices are double? I don't know. But then again, I got my money's worth with my friend to watch ringside TLC at the SAP Center, because I surely ain't spending that much to watch Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I'm not spending $700 just to sit at ringside at the Chase Center. I would just rather buy an affordable lower level seat and just be happy that I attended. Now, the very last thing I want to talk about on this show, I'm going to share this on Twitter right now because I forgot to share it, and because Twitter doesn't want, or YouTube doesn't want to share to Twitter that I am live. So I have to share that I'm talking about my very last topic for the show. CTR Nitro Fueled. By the way, follow me on Twitter. I see a lot of crap on there. Okay. Let me check that. Alright, I guess that's fine. Oh yeah, by the way, I guess the news is going around that this dude, Ninja, he moved from Twitch to this streaming site, Mixer. Again, I don't care about Ninja. I don't care about Fortnite, so I just don't care. I really don't care. But now, anyway, time for the very last topic for the show. Let's talk about Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, because if you all saw my review, my pretty much my like very long discussion, my very long review about CTR. For those of you who didn't, I encourage you all to watch it. I know it's long, but it's a very good like it's one of my favorite videos that I did. It's a packed and a fun game. It has a lot of content, a lot of characters, and I'm pretty sure you will all enjoy it. But I don't know, as I played through it, like as I kept playing through it, it felt like very, very grindy. It felt like it wasn't as rewarding as I thought it would be. I feel like how much, like I felt like what I was doing wasn't as rewarding, because every time I got Wumpa coins, every time I wanted to get something in the pit stop, it just cost way too damn much and had very little like coins to spare. Especially when I hate Nintendo Switch Online and most of the game forces you to play online. But I had like what, 75 hours? No, 80 hours actually logged in, and all my playtime's online or offline, sorry. So I literally spend my hours playing the same cup race over and over again because the game's such a slog. So I can get every character, except for some odd reason I'm now stuck in the unattainable entrance loop. But it just takes me hours to get the various Wumpa coins, because playing offline gives you very low payouts, gives you very low rates for Wumpa coins. The max you can get offline is 80 coins, and the lowest you could get is like 20, which sucks for offline players that don't like Nintendo Switch Online or online in general. But now we know why the payout rates are so low, both offline and online. When Wumpa time, which pretty much doubles the coins you earn. Like, we now know why the payouts are so low, both like in general. So while explaining the next Grand Prix season, which is back in time, and that starts I think Saturday or tomorrow, and I'll be playing that nonetheless, so I can get the characters. Activision had this to say in their latest blog post. As always, the pit stop will be stocked with new and returning characters and cosmetic items, which can be unlocked using Wumpa coins. With all this content available, there will also now be a way for players to fast track their Wumpa coin collection if they like. Starting in early August, players will also have the option to purchase, yes, you heard that right, purchase Wumpa coin bundles from the game console stores to supplement the coins they earn by playing. This option won't change the game's core mechanics. I'll get into that later. Players will still earn Wumpa coins by playing the game in any mode just as before. They will just be able to purchase additional coins if they choose to. Now, I can describe this direct quote from Activision in one word. Bullshit. Just look at the wording. Just look at the wording. The wording. Players will have the option. The option. When were microtransactions optional? Like, when were they optional? Look at the payouts we're getting in CTR. It's so low. It is very low. You make it sound like it's mandatory to purchase Wumpa Coin bundles. Like, we don't know yet if this will change the core game mechanics, but it feels mandatory now that we have to pay for, like, we have to buy Wumpa Coin bundles. And it's not only that. The biggest problem I have with this is how Activision does this after the positive reviews come out. It's just ridiculous. Like, they waited until they get all the good graces from everybody out there, including me, admittedly, and then they put in the microtransactions. Now, I will admit that I had myself a problem with microtransactions in the past. I had a microtransaction addiction. So I'm not gonna go into this this big rant like that I'm about to go to, it like impulsively saying that, oh, I hate microtransactions because it's done dirty, because I have experienced like the addiction of microtransactions before. So pretty much in 2013 or 2014, I got like, that was the time when I was stuck in the brony trend. Yeah, the My Little Pony trend, and they released the mobile game, the Game Loft Hasbro My Little Pony game. So pretty much it was like one of those village games where you have to build the village and all that stuff. And then like I had to do certain missions where I had to buy something in the game, but I didn't have enough I think it was enough gems in the game. Like, you have to, like, the game mostly rewards you with coins. That game mostly rewards you with coins, but then you have, like, when you needed gems to buy, like, let's say a shop or a certain pony, like, I didn't have enough I didn't have enough of that. Admittedly, I got addicted to purchasing iTunes cards so I can get the various things in there. And yeah, that's my story with microtransactions. But ever since I deleted the game off my phone, and since I stopped caring about My Little Pony, it's like I finally realized that it's a terrible addiction. It's a very bad addiction, like spending your money on like digital currency. It's very bad. But back to CTR. I mean, I'm still gonna play CTR. I'm still gonna play the Grand Prix, but Activision doesn't have my good graces anymore. They don't have my good graces. I know this is not the fault of Beanox. I mean, if it was, Beanox would have said it. Like Beanox would have explained this. Because Beanox developed the game. They developed a very good game, but this wasn't perfect by any means. They said themselves that there wouldn't be any microtransactions in the game. And if you don't believe me, go check, they did an interview with, they said, in this source via Screen Rant, that there wouldn't be any microtransactions in the game. But I guess Activision had to come in and butt in and said, fuck it. Screw the fans. Screw our promise from our developer. We like money. People like to waste their money on in-game currency, so let's break our promise that the developer made and that we didn't make, and get greedy with the money that we won't use to fix CTR's various problems, but instead we'll use that money to create a money swimming pool. Yeah, very nice of you, Activision. So pretty much these microtransactions take away what makes CTR so fun. So instead of earning the Wumpa coins, which the rate needs to be drastically increased offline, and increase online as well. It's like, yeah, that's what should have been done. Increase the Wumpa coin rates. Like, give us more Wumpa, like, pay us more Wumpa coins for when we do when we play these modes, both offline and online. Like, it's like, I don't know why they're, like, especially online when Wumpa time is not happening for people that play online. But especially offline for people like me that don't like the online. Because the rates are so low. Now they mention, like, even though they mention it won't affect the game's core mechanics, just because they say that now doesn't mean they can go and change that too by adding something like, oh, I don't know, loot boxes. This is stupid. And by the way, speaking of loot boxes, aren't there like legal battles? I know I'm not into like politics or like law or anything to that. I'm pretty much apolitical. Aren't there legal battles that are supposed to get loot boxes banned or something because EA is like doing something very bad with them? But let me know about that in the comments if you're watching the replay or in the chat right now about that. But if it is, like, if there are, oh yeah, loot boxes was like a gambling tool, if I remember. But yeah, might as well throw in microtransactions in there too, because that's a big problem. Like, those two things, they need to go. But anyway, another thing was I was already forced to play online during my free trial due to the very low rate of the Wumpa coins, and now Activision wants me to buy Wumpa coins with real money. Go fuck yourself, Activision. Go fuck yourself. I'm very sick and tired of paid near full price and full price games that we have to pay either $40 or $60. Like, these kind of games are getting the mobile phone game treatment, which are like almost free. They're getting the treatment of both loot boxes and microtransactions. The fact that people support this notion to this day is sickening. Yes, I've heard the like defenses of various people that, oh, it's optional. It's only cosmetic. It's only cosmetic microtransactions. Yeah, but it's never optional. It's never cosmetic. Those are the stupidest excuses to defending microtransactions in a near full price game like CTR in this day and age. I will say this though, I have a small glimpse of hope that in the upcoming update for the next Grand Prix, hopefully, that Activision and Beenox increases the offline Wumpa coin rate, like, significantly, because that seriously needs higher coin rates. Because I can't buy, I don't want to spend hours, like, grinding through the Uka Cup repeatedly on easy. Admittedly, yes, I said easy repeatedly for hours on end just to get the very, like, what, 200 coins per, like, in like 15 minutes for, like, what, like, no, it's like, yeah, 15 minutes for, like, what, 200 coins? That's it? No. Like, they need to increase the Wumpa coins. I know Beenox wants to do it, but Activision's like, no, fuck you. We want money, so keep the Wumpa coin rate very low. And this is the thing that concerns me most too. Activision may force Beenox to lower the Wumpa coin rate, both offline and online, so they can force people to buy the Wumpa coin packs. And that's very concerning. So I'm very scared. But speaking of the offline Wumpa coin rates, that needs to go up, because I want to buy entrants. I want to buy the very skins and cartwheels that I want, so I can get to entrants. But how can I do that when I have to sit on my ass grinding for hours on end, and especially when the fact that I hate Nintendo Switch Online so much that Activision both forces me to play online. Well, sorry, let me retract that. That Activision both forces online and microtransactions now down people's throats. I just hope that I don't know. I just hope that as long as Activision truly doesn't affect the distribution of one coins both offline and online, I just I don't know. I just don't like the idea of microtransactions in a game like CTR when CTR obviously didn't have microtransactions 20 years ago when it came out. But it shouldn't be here in the first place. If this doesn't wake people up about microtransactions, then oh boy, just wait till we get to the future, baby. Wait till we get to the future. Where every game could possibly have like microtransactions, loot boxes, a pay to win element. Then everyone will stand up again. Everyone will stand up. It'll be too late by then. Like, it'll be too late to complain. Everyone needs to take a stand now. There's a hashtag going around by, I think, Josh Gaming. Remove microtransactions from CTR, Nitro Fueled. Get that on trending now. Because this needs to stop. These microtransactions in games like this, which is a remake, by the way, need to stop. We need to stop companies like EA, Activision. We need to stop letting them get away with this. It's ridiculous. I need to breathe. I need to breathe. But the last thing I want to say about this whole CTR microtransaction fiasco, which comes out in an update when the next Grand Prix starts tomorrow or Saturday, is that I hope people stand up. I hope people, I hope this wakes people the fuck up. Because if it doesn't, then all gamers are gonna pay for it when pay to win elements are gonna be present in could be present in all games in the future. But those are my 2 cents in all the topics that I talked about today. If you missed the stream, the replay will be in my channel once it processes. But I'm just upset. Like, this was like the most upsetting, like, out of all the topics that I picked out for the show, the microtransactions in CTR were just very upsetting. Was just the most upsetting of them all. This was just not needed, and I might as well just put it on Twitter that I might as well just join the remove microtransactions from CTR movement, because I know it's like it was started by a very small YouTuber, but I hope this gains traction. I really hope this gains traction, and if this reminded me of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 situation where it had, like, I think it was very high prices for like characters, and like there were microtransactions in the game and loot boxes in there, and look what happened. Gamers won that. Like, gamers won that situation. So I hope we can do the same with removing CTR microtransactions, and hopefully like keeping pay to win elements from Nitro Fuel, like CTR Nitro Fueled, from that, like, forever. Like, we got to keep any other like pay to win elements and remove microtransactions from CTR Nitro Fueled forever. I hope that movement, I hope that hashtag keeps going strong. Josh Gaming, I'm giving you this shout out right here. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Everyone, like, I was listening to your podcast. I like what you said. I really liked what you said. So I recommend everyone, like, listen to his podcast, because there was, like, I really, like, was interested in a lot of things he said. He was the guy that started the remove like the Crash Team Racing movement. Let me see. But yeah, I'm probably pretty much done rambling. I'm ranting about any of these topics for today. You can catch me on Twitter. I'm at DylanLasagna, and you can. I'll also be like shit posting on the community posts. I'm sorry. I'm just like that got me all riled up. That got me all riled up. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of Dylan Lasagna Live. I am obviously your host, your beautiful host. Don't forget to like, dislike the stream, leave a comment if you're watching the replay. Let me know your thoughts about any of the topics that I discussed. Next week's episode is going to be all about SummerSlam, my SummerSlam preview, what like my predictions. I'm not going to talk like anything about NXT Takeover because I'm going to watch Takeover, Toronto Raptors, but I don't think I'm like going to talk about it at all because I don't have access to the WWE Network and NXT. But the entire show's like entire episode next week is gonna revolve around SummerSlam 2019 and whatever is gonna be like shown from the WWE 2K20 reveal on Monday. So that's gonna do it for this week's episode of Dylan Lasagna Live. I am Dylan Lasagna, and I will see you all next time. Always be delicious.